Deciding when to collect Social Security can be one of the trickiest issues to plan for. And in some cases, some people might say always wait to age 70 so you can collect your maximum benefit. And in some cases, which we're going to go over today, it actually might make sense to collect early at age 62. Even though you're collecting a lesser benefit, you might actually get more over your lifetime or be able to access more of those Social Security benefits for longer. Really, the only time to know when the best time to collect Social Security is really when you're dead, because then you can make the calculation of how much benefits you actually got from Social Security. So obviously you don't want to wait till you're dead, but there's not a set in stone answer for when the best time to collect Social Security is, and really that should be left up to your financial plan and creating a strong plan to kind of make sure that you account for all potential scenarios. We're going to go over 6 different reasons, and real quick before we get into it, if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe to our channel and comment down below a topic you want to see in the future. So the way that Social Security benefits works and kind of how they're affected at different ages is, let's say 67 is your full retirement age. This is the current full retirement age today. When you're 67, you're basically getting what you're owed. You're getting your full retirement benefit. Generally, if you take Social Security benefits at age 62, it's typically cut by about 30% of what your full retirement age amount would be. So that's a 30% decrease, but what if you wait past full retirement age? What if you wait to age 68 or 69 or 70? Your full retirement age amount is increased by about 8% each year you wait past full retirement age. So essentially, if you delayed your Social Security benefits from age 67 to age 70, your benefits would be increased by about 24%. So that could be really huge for your retirement. And remember, once you start collecting, Social Security is increased with inflation each year. So it's not only that you're collecting a 24% higher benefit than your age 67 benefit, but that higher benefit is also compounding with inflation each year. So it could be huge, and it does make sense for a lot of people to actually delay to age 70 to collect their higher benefit, but not in all cases. So let's go over those 6 scenarios. So the first one that we're going to start with is longevity. So if you don't believe that you're going to live past the break-even point for Social Security, which is typically around your late 70s or early 80s, it might make sense to collect Social Security earlier. So there are certain industries, certain jobs, certain people with family histories of, maybe you have cardiovascular disease or you have some sort of genetic disease that you don't think you're going to live to that break-even point. Maybe you think that you're only going to live to about 75. In that case, it might make sense to collect earlier. And let me explain this with an example. So let's say that your full retirement age amount for Social Security is $2,000 a month. A 30% reduction in that, so if you collected at age 62, would be about $1,400 per month. Now, let's say you delayed your Social Security, that $2,000 a month, to age 70, it would be about $2,480 per month. Right now, just looking at the numbers, obviously the $2,480 seems a lot higher than the $1,400. So in some people's minds, that would make sense to collect the higher benefit. But if we're only assuming that we're going to live until age 75, then it might make sense to collect that age 62 amount. So think about it like this. That $1,400 per month, you're going to be able to collect for 13 years from age 62 to 75, which means you've collected about $218,000 from Social Security. Now, on the flip side, let's take a look at if you were to delay it to age 70. You delayed it to age 70, which means you get to collect that higher amount, that $2,480 per month, but now you're only collecting for about 5 years. So that means over 5 years, you've only collected about $149,000. So when we look at those total numbers, you can see that you were actually able to maximize your benefits by collecting early. So this is just one scenario and where you may potentially think about collecting early. The second reason you might want to think about collecting early is because you don't want to withdraw from your retirement portfolio. So if you retire, obviously you have no income, so all of your expenses are typically taken care of through maybe an additional source of income like a pension or something like that. But for many people, what happens is they have to withdraw from their retirement portfolio. And maybe you retired at 62, but you don't want to withdraw from your retirement portfolio yet for risking potentially drawing it down too much. Now, this is best illustrated through an example. We have this couple, they're currently 61, they're thinking about retiring at age 62, so next year, and they spend about $100,000 in total per year. So that's across their living expenses, the mortgage, real estate expenses, taxes, and things like that. And they have an investment portfolio of $692,000. So what we're looking at here is their lifetime portfolio value. So we can see in these first several years, we're drawing down the portfolio. This is because in this scenario, they're collecting their Social Security at age 67. So this is their full retirement age. So you can see they're 61 currently, their retirement age is 62, and from 62 until about 2031, where we could see that that's when they would be 67 years old, they have to take some drastic withdrawals from their portfolio, which really hurts their portfolio. At 67, so 2031, it starts to level off and actually increase towards the end of their plan. So it's not a bad scenario. They don't run out of money in this scenario. But what if they were saying that they wanted to collect late? Maybe they wanted to delay it to age 70 to collect their higher Social Security benefit. In this specific scenario, and remember, this is just an example of this is just a sample financial plan, kind of how this could work for somebody. But you can see here, this is what would happen if they delayed Social Security to age 70. The same as the first scenario, those first several years they're withdrawing a lot, except for now it continues past 2031. Now they keep withdrawing until they're age 70, to the point where they actually run out of money in their portfolio. And when I look at the cash flows, it actually shows a negative portfolio value. So that's not great. Obviously, you don't want to withdraw to the point where you have no portfolio left, very little left, or negative. So in this scenario, collecting late actually hurts their portfolio even though they get the higher amount. Now, on the flip side, let's take a look at what would happen if they collected early. As you can see in the chart here, they maintain a much more level portfolio value. This is because collecting early allowed them to not have to withdraw from their portfolio as often, and as much for that matter. It made their portfolio value stay somewhat level throughout their whole retirement. You don't decrease it to the point where you may be risking drawing it down too much, and it actually, these green lines that you see here show that they actually gained value by collecting early. Reason number 3 would be for child Social Security payments. So basically what this is if you have a child under the age of 18, so it's a minor child, and you're of retirement age, let's say you retired at age 62, and you're currently 62, Social Security would offer benefits to that child to help support that child. Basically, if you're retired or disabled, or even if you pass away, Social Security offers those benefits to children who are under the age of 18 or 19 if they're in high school, and also for children at any age if they were disabled before the age of 22. So if you want to take advantage of these benefits, if you want to get those additional payments for your child to help support them, and you're retired, obviously this is a little bit of a niche scenario because you'd have to be over the age of 62 and your child would have to be a minor still. But in this scenario, it might make sense to collect Social Security early if you need those payments to help support your kid. So especially if you were thinking about delaying to age 70. So let's say you were 62 years old and your kid is 12 years old and you were thinking about delaying to age 70, but you would be happy to use some of those payments to support them now. By the time you're age 70 and you decide to start collecting Social Security, your kid that was 12 years old at 62 is now going to be above the age of 18. So you won't be able to access those child Social Security payments. Number 4 is that you think you could beat what Social Security has to offer in the market. Again, a bit of a niche scenario because a lot of people are probably listening to that and saying, I don't want to take all my Social Security and invest it. I need that money to support my income needs now. And for a lot of people, that's probably true. But for some people, they might not need their Social Security. They might have saved up a lot in their portfolio or can support it through other sources of income. But for somebody who would be willing to take a little bit of risk by putting their Social Security in the market, they might benefit by taking it early at age 62 and investing it and trying to beat what Social Security would originally offer. Obviously, there's a risk that it doesn't beat Social Security, that Social Security would have paid you more because maybe the market didn't perform to what you were thinking it would. But this is one scenario where somebody who's willing to take that risk might benefit from taking at 62, or at least might enjoy taking it at 62 to try to beat what Social Security can do. Reason number 5 would be if your spouse dies. Now, sad scenario, but if your spouse dies, you get what's called a survivor's benefit as long as they were eligible for Social Security. So you get what's called a survivor's benefit, which you can start collecting as early as age 60. Now, let's just take an example of this. And this is a common example for widows where their spouse passed away. And your survivor's benefit is generally about what the spouse's benefit was at their full retirement age. So they started collecting their survivor's benefit when they turned age 60 and switched to their own Social Security benefit when they turned age 67 or maybe even 70. So what this did was allow this widow or this person who lost their spouse to delay their own Social Security so that it was a higher amount, but at the same time collected the survivor's benefits for potentially like 10 years. So that's 10 additional years of income, plus now they get a higher benefit on their end. So it's sort of a way to double dip from Social Security, and it can be flip-flopped. So there are some cases where your survivor's benefit is actually going to be higher than your own Social Security benefit. So it might make sense to start collecting your own Social Security benefit as early as age 62, and then delaying taking the survivor's benefit until age 67 in this example. So when you do collect the survivor's benefit early, keep in mind that it is a reduced benefit if you collect at age 60. It's not going to be the spouse's full retirement age amount when you're 60 years old. It's going to be reduced from that. But it's a way to get additional income over those 10 years to support yourself, as well as just to maximize what you can get from Social Security. The final reason number 6, that you might want to potentially think about collecting Social Security early is due to worries about the future of the Social Security Administration and what they're going to plan on doing to solve the current Social Security depletion issue. So if you're unfamiliar, there is an issue with Social Security funding and worries that the Social Security fund, which is just a trust fund, is going to be depleted in the coming years. So this is a big worry, and it's a common question that clients ask. It's a common question that you're seeing people ask on social media. People are talking about it in the news. People are worried about where Social Security is going to get the money from. Are they going to cut benefits? Are they going to increase taxes? Are they going to delay full retirement age from 67 to age 68 to 69 to 70? What are they going to do? So this is a big worry, and we're not really going to talk about what Social Security can do in this video, but if you do have legitimate worries and you're fairly certain that they're going to cut Social Security benefits, you might benefit from taking the Social Security benefit early so that you're locking in a higher benefit than what it could be if they cut benefits. But obviously, that's very up in the air. And on the flip side of that could be that Social Security doesn't cut benefits. Maybe they just delay full retirement age, or they increase taxes and they don't cut benefits. So there's definitely a risk in either option in waiting to collect Social Security or collecting early. The point of this was to show that in some cases, it may make sense to collect at 62 rather than 70. Obviously, you should work with a financial professional to make sure that you are collecting at the right time, that you're not collecting too early or too late if your plan is to maximize benefits. But if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and comment down below when you think the best time to collect Social Security is. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.